everybody. How you doing today? I'm in the jug today. We're just flying around here. I figured I would let me turn this. The sound was deafening me. Let's keep up with our guys here. I have no idea what they're doing. Today I figured we talk about stalls and spins and just basic aircraft handling. I've seen some comments on the forums in DCS about keeping the ball centered and trim. And I figured I'd talk about that a little bit today. Basically, for any change in altitude, airspeed, power setting, basically anything you do, you're going to have to change your trim. So, let's get trimmed out here at this power setting. See, now when I let go, the airplane's wanting to go up and to the left. So, normally the way I do it is get the pitch axis straight first, keep the ball centered with the rudder pedals, and don't worry about trimming the rudder yet. Just get it right in pitch. And then to do that, you also kind of have to get the ailerons right too. So see, now we're a little bit tail heavy. I overcorrected a little bit. It takes a minute to get it right. You're best off to hand fly the airplane with the controls as it's trimmed. And just the trim is just something else to have to worry about. See, now you bank, you feed in a little bit of rudder. Now we bank, you gotta feed in a little bit of rudder. And keep the ball centered. And the idea is to be able to make a turn. Here, let's get up to 250. Now the trim, don't what am I trying to say? Don't be overly worried about the trim. If it gets to the point to where the control force is more and you can't get, then worry about the trim. People get fixated on having it perfectly flying hands off. You don't want to. The trim is not really for that. I mean, it is. That's why they put 3-axis airplanes or 3-axis trim in the American airplanes. They figured it was worth the wait for all of it. The Germans figured that the weight and complexity and everything wasn't worth it because you just fly with your feet anyway, as far as the rudder goes. And they would have trim tabs on the control surfaces so that the ground crew, if the pilot said, man, I gotta have it to the floor on the right side to maintain flight, they would bend that trim tab. So if you notice, just calm. Everybody just needs to relax. They want to change the pitch and I haven't touched the trim. Everybody wants to be, just keep an eye on that ball. When it gets off, see the shuttering? Now that's on the verge of a stall. Now I'm going to talk about stalls a little bit. A lot of people have problems with this too. Now let's see, we've only been running 35 inches at 2250. I haven't touched the throttle. Now let's power up a little bit. Now I'm going to pull up, and this is what people do. See, we're down to 0 airspeed. Now we're full throttle, and I still haven't changed the trim. And I'm wide open, balls to the wall. And then keep an eye on the ball, and as you need to correct the rudder, and you'll find it comes right back to the center usually. See, now it's changed. I might want to feed in a little bit of rudder, but it doesn't. So you can, and another thing is too, use each axis separately. When you need to roll. Everybody wants to kick the rudder and do all kinds of weird stuff, and all it does is slow you down. Just keep the ball centered. So let's fly over here and we'll shoot a landing. Now I'm gonna back off on the power a little bit. Another thing is people don't give the P-47 the credit for as maneuverable as it is. It's just heavy. It has a lot of inertia and mass and weight. Sometimes we're fine. Let's fly over here to Manston. There's Manston right there. We're gonna come into the pattern. Let's drop a notch of combat flaps. Pull the power back to 2500. Drop more flaps when the airspeed's one. Now you're gonna have to trim up with the nose as your flaps come out. Now put the gear out and don't go below. I'm working the RPM as much as I am the throttle right now. All right, now let the speed bleed off. And then you should be constantly adding power to maintain that. And you should be about 110 over the threshold and just fly right in. That was a little rough, but it's the first time really. And then gentle on the brakes. This is a huge runway, so you don't have to worry about it. Flaps up. I could have did a touch and go, but we'll turn around and flaps up. Uh-oh, I didn't open the cow flaps. My cylinder head temp's still alright. Alright, now I'm just gonna turn around. I unlocked the tail hook to do that. Don't forget to lock it back up. Alright. We'll give her just a touch of flaps. Tail up, lift off. Remember, I didn't retrim, but 150, gear up, flaps up. Now, I'm not a perfect pilot. I don't claim to be. Now, trim down because flaps up. I guess all I'm trying to say is trim is just to get it close. A lot of people pay too much attention fooling around with the trim to get the airplane to fly perfect. That's what the control stick and the rudder's for. If it gets to the point that it's, a nuisance that you... In the real airplane, it would get to the point that the aerodynamic force on the stick would be so much that you would have to do it. And the pitch axis is for your AOA, basically. So, that's what I'm saying about. And then just, you gotta keep the ball centered with your feet. It'll become second nature. And then, even in the middle of the turn, just hold your control position, then the ball center out, and then look and see what kind of a Now, also, too, I'm not in a combat situation. I'm just trying to explain to you the basics of it. So, I guess that's all I've got for right now. Let's turn around and shoot another landing. Flaps are coming out. We're at 150. Yeah, I just saw the airfield, but it's in a shadow. There it is. All right. Oh, that shutter means, baby, you better add some power. Now, oop, and we're out of shape. Oh. And that's how not to land a P-47. All right, see y'all later.